Killian, as you are watching over the night, you see kind of a green light coming from the trail. As it gets closer, you recognize it to be the ghost of your brother.
Avix, is that really you?
Killian, why are you here? What's going on? I think I might be dead. Hello, adventurer. This is our Curse of Strahd actual playthrough. As always, it is a safe for work and story-driven D&D campaign. If you're a first-time viewer, we recommend starting your quest on episode 1. Otherwise, stick around to be transported into the cursed lands of Barovia. Last time, after the events of the previous night, our heroes woke up the next morning to a lot of emotions and information. Silas eventually confronted Xeno and began to heal the gap that grew between them the previous night. Xeno also discovered a newfound love for coffee, thanks to Silas's cowboy brew. The party eventually packed up their things and headed out. They chose to take the faster path up the slippery mountain trail close to the waterfall. After a few close calls, Killian found himself falling off the ledge, but was able to teleport himself back to safety. Not too long after, the party again all found themselves falling, but this time it was Silas. He dangled off the cliff with no magic to save him. To save the others, he cut the rope that was tethering him to them and fell almost 1,000 feet to the ground below. Killian and Ireana made their way up to the top of the waterfall, and Xeno made his way down to find what was left of Silas. After being led by a raven to Silas's remains, he was surprised to find him alive. Xeno used his magic to fix his broken body and bring him back from unconsciousness. Our party then found themselves split apart with one choice to make. Do Xeno and Silas travel the slippery, dangerous trail, or take the safe but long way to meet up with the rest of their party? And that's where we're going to start this session. Silas and Xeno, you see that the sun is beginning to set. It's probably been about 6 to 8-ish hours since you left this morning. So it's maybe like early evening kind of a time.
I don't know about you, Xeno, but I don't like the idea of trying to climb up that hillside again in the dark. I mean, I had trouble enough as it was in daylight. Not to mention, I think I kind of like stretch and crack my back and other bones. Would like some time to sit down and rest, heal up before we continue on.
That's understandable. Should we try and send a signal to Killian or something?
Yeah.
Any ideas? Because I don't think I have much. You know, I really should have given him a tooth before I left.
Oh, one of them, because you
Yeah,
can talk
send
to
him-
people with your
I can
teeth.
talk to him through my
Yeah.
teeth.
I thought you did.
I don't think I did. Honestly, I was just more in a rush to get down to you.
No, I thought you gave him a tooth before we went into camp. Or Ireana. Or was it me?
You did. You for sure did give someone.
And I
a
know it
tooth.
wasn't me.
I want to say you did give me a tooth.
Yeah.
When did I
day or
give it
two
to you?
ago.
Though?
Yeah.
When he
how long
went
does it
to
last?
when he went to talk to Ismark. I'm pretty sure. I thought.
Oh.
I think it only lasts till we take a long rest.
Oh, okay.
I will double check.
That would make sense.
No indefinite messaging teeth.
No.
And what's the range on message? Is it 30 feet or something?
Until you finish a long rest. Message is 120.
Okay.
Dang it.
Yeah. Well,
Are there any crows around?
there is the raven
Mm-hmm.
that
That's what I meant.
led Xeno there.
And it's still there? It's just hung out?
It's still
as
there.
we've,
Yep.
Like
It's
walked
been
around
watching.
to gather stuff?
Mm-hmm.
That bird's been following me around.
Well,
You still have
a
one
lot of
gun,
his-
right?
Yeah.
Shoot it.
I'm not. No. Why would I shoot the bird?
I don't know, it served its purpose.
How about we write a note and send it up to Killian?
Then we shoot it.
Sure. If it comes back down, yeah.
Alright, that's a good idea. You got a piece of paper? I have paper.
And I've got some ink.
Perfect. Just scratch out a note. Killian.
Okay.
Everyone's dead. Myself included.
If you are reading this, I have died.
Go forward and prosper.
Yeah. You want to write it? You want me to write it?
I think it'd be good if it came from you so he knows you're alive.
All right. Kid, comma. Survive the fall. Xeno is with me. Gonna make the trip up in the morning. And then I roll the piece of paper up. And I'm gonna... Hey, Xeno, you got any crumbs or anything we can lay out for this bird?
I probably have something. I'm gonna go down to my hovel and come back with a jar of dead rats.
That would do.
I'll open it up and put it towards Silas. You wanna pick one?
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
The ones at the bottom are good, you know.
No. Yeah. And I put my hand in the jar to get a dead rat, I guess.
Hey.
And then I kind of set, I don't know. I'll go like, is the bird just watching us?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
Just watching you.
All right. I rip off like a little bit of the hem of my pant. It's like, you know, half an inch worth. I can tie to this raven's foot. Oh man, you got anything that Killian's touched? That the bird can smell? I don't know how this works. Does the bird smell like a person? Do we tell him to go somewhere?
I don't know. I've never sent a message
Yeah,
with
me
a
neither.
bird. Usually I just use teeth.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see that the bird actually flies closer to you and just
Okay.
sits and just stares at you.
I'm gonna like crouch down and I'm gonna be like, okay, Raven. We will give you this rat if you take this message. And I point up to the top of the falls. Up there.
And the bird looks at the top of the falls and then back at you and squawks.
All right. I'm gonna slowly walk over to the bird. Does it fly away?
No.
Okay. Once I get close enough, I'm gonna toss the rat on the ground near the bird. And wait for it to eat the rat if it does.
Hey. You see that the bird actually kind of looks at the rat and then with its beak pushes it away and then squawks.
Not hungry, huh? Okay, I'm gonna very slowly and carefully tie this note to the foot of the raven.
Okay. And you see it just holds perfectly still.
Hey.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah?
I don't know if I like it.
Well, it's doing us a favor now, so.
True.
All right. And I point up to the top of the falls. Go
And
on.
Get.
It squawks at you and then just flies away right towards the waterfall.
Wow.
And then it turns around the other direction and goes, no, just kidding.
Gets partway off and slips.
You just hear a gunshot ring out. Somebody else shoots the bird.
What do you
Well, that
think?
was...
What do you think that means? Like, where do you think they come from?
ravens. Eggs, I'd assume.
Well, obviously. But why is that one helping us? I mean, that bird helped me find you.
Oh, we did?
He kind of led me in the direction of where you were.
I didn't know that. I don't think I have any connection to birds.
Isn't there
Other than...
a goddess that... What was the goddess? There's the Morning Lord and then there's another one. The nighttime one. The Night Mother. The...
Yeah.
Is it the Night Mother?
I honestly...
Are you thinking of the
Don't.
Raven Queen?
Yeah, the Raven Queen.
Yeah.
Well, no. Who's the other goddess of this world? Is it the Night Mother?
Yeah, there's a few of them, but yeah, the Raven Queen is one.
Is one of like a deity of this world?
Yeah, I think I've said that
Interesting.
to you guys.
It
Connor would
Jefferson
know.
forgot
the night
that.
man.
Yeah, do you have notes on that, Connor?
I know I do. I just don't know exactly where. Raven Queen, goddess of night.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go.
You think she's helping us?
Yeah. It kind of appears so.
Kind of seems like she's helping you. I mean, it helped me find you, and it came to you and did what you wanted it to. I wonder if that's the entity you made a deal with.
Huh. Maybe.
Maybe we can learn more about her and what her goals are.
Yeah. Maybe that board will tell you.
The board tells all.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. As I
Well,
watch as the raven gets smaller and smaller, flying to the.
I know you don't sleep, but you can stay in my hut if you'd like.
Sure.
I cleaned up since the last time you were in there.
Oh yeah.
And as we go down into the hut, it is just a mess.
I promise it was clean at some point.
Just the mess has just moved around.
Yeah.
Like
no,
it was
that-
messy before.
Yeah,
And now it's just like
on the
messy, but
opposite
in a
side.
little bit of a different. Yeah, exactly.
This is
Like you
supposed
just
to.
rearranged a little bit.
Yeah, like when somebody comes over to your house and you're like, "Oh man, my house is a mess," and you just like start cleaning up and putting stuff away. That's what Xeno's doing right now.
Xeno, no, don't worry about that. I'm easy to impress.
So, Killian, you and Ireana, you make it up to the top of this waterfall. It looks like Connor just hit his funny bone.
I did
Sorry.
so hard
Oh,
on my
no.
freaking chair.
Oh no.
Not so funny.
It was not.
Sorry.
Not so funny. Oh man, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All right, Killian, you and Ireana, you were able to make it to the top, and it had been a few hours as you kind of sit there, not knowing anything, as Xeno supposedly was making his way down to find whatever was left over with Silas. Is there anything that you would have done in that time, or would you have just waited there? What is it that you would have liked to have done?
I would have waited there and planned to kind of stay the night and wait for them after like a couple of hours or after it became dark.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely make a fire.
Okay. Perfect.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. So it's still, the sun's setting, but it's still bright enough. And as you and Ireana kind of sit there, you hear the flapping of some wings. And then appearing on the edge of this stone bridge is a black bird. And it looks at you and it squawks or caws or whatever ravens do.
A caw. I don't know.
I don't know what they do.
It makes some noise.
Hello, mate.
Sometimes they
got some
imitate human.
postage for you.
Boy,
Got a penny
Kid.
for me? Penny for the mail, governor. Okay.
Do I notice anything different about the raven? Like, would I have noticed?
You would see that there
note?
is a rolled up piece of paper attached to its leg, and it looks at you and it.
Okay. I'll run over to it and very slowly, almost like, like I don't want to disturb it, and very slowly reach over to its leg and pull the paper off.
Okay. And the second you kind
I'll
of have
read
it,
the note.
yeah, when you kind of take it off and you pull this note out, you don't know if it's like real or if you're just kind of like seeing things, but it almost looks like the bird like kind of bows its head to you and then it flies away.
What the heck?
And
Did you see? I
then
turned it back to Ireana. Did you see that? It bowed at me.
I forgot about your tongue.
I did. That was quite interesting. I thought that it was just getting ready to take off, but now that you say it,
Is that not like a normal
guess it
thing
was
here?
interesting. I mean, like I said, ravens are known as good omens, but these ones almost appear to be aware to some extent.
They don't just go around just yelling at people.
I mean, not that I've ever seen, but I've heard stories of them, leading to safety when needed, or well, telling when danger is around, or things like that. But I just thought that they were stories, nothing more. Coincidences.
Anyway, I should probably read this.
And so the note says what Connor, or not Connor, what Jeff had put. Which I don't know if you've ever seen his handwriting, but it does.
It's
It
horrible.
does start it out
It's
as
barely.
I think I
legible.
would know as soon as I saw kid,
kid.
comma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have a note here, and it says that I am basically their hero, and that they can't wait to be reunited with me, and they miss me, and we should wait up here for them, which I will do for my loyal subjects.
So they are safe then. Both of them.
Technically, only Silas. I only saw a mention of him, but I think they're both fine. He's the one that really had the spill.
Yes,
I
that
didn't
is.
really. It's not looking good for him. That's all I'll say.
Yes. Well, thank the Morning Lord. That is. That was quite a fall. I've never seen anyone survive that. You lot are different than the rest.
Some would say that we are built different.
She just looks at you. Says, well, that is good. It must have saved Silas. But so do we just camp here then? Is that the plan?
Yeah, we'll wait till I'm sure they'll be up by morning. If not, the note does say that we should move on without them and I don't know, live happily ever after together.
Right, well, let's hope that they make it then, right?
Oof.
The words right out of my mouth.
So, you guys would just set up camp.
We're staying in Xeno's shell,
Okay.
and I am down there too.
All right, Killian. As you are watching over the night, you see kind of a green light coming from the trail that would lead from Barovia up towards you on the bridge. It's kind of a green light. And eventually this light you see a figure who's kind of emanating this. And at first, you're unable to make out any sort of really key indicators of who or what this is. But as it gets closer, you recognize it to be the ghost of your brother.
How far away is he from me right now?
He's probably about 50 yards.
50 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll kind of wait. Wait for him to get a little bit closer.
How
And I
close
reckon
would you... Yeah, you definitely recognize him.
Okay.
How close would you wait as he's just slowly walking towards you?
I would wait till he gets about 10 yards away from me. And as he gets to about 10 yards away, I mechanically cast. Could I cast? What's the word I'm looking for here? Firebolt, but just hold it like kind of in my hand, almost like the purple flame, just kind of like I'm ready, like I'm readying it. You know,
Okay.
like
Yeah, you just want to ready in action.
basically, yeah. So
Okay,
a
what
purple
would
flame.
be the trigger on that?
I mean, any kind of hostile, movement to me. If he, moves a little too fast. If I see anything in like the tree line or something like that.
Okay. Just if something feels off,
Right.
you'll do. Okay. Awesome. Yeah.
Anyway, I hold out my hand. A purple flame appears in it. I say, Avix, is that really you? Is this an illusion?
And you see as he kind of looks up from this dead stare, similar to when you saw him at the March of the Dead down in Barovia. But you see that his blank eyes kind of gain a little bit more life, and he looks at you. He says, Killian, why are you here? What's going on? I think I might be dead.
Yeah, bud. Think you are too. But I need to make sure that you're actually my brother, and that this isn't a trick.
And he just kind of continues looking confused and says, "But what are you doing here?"
You of all people should know what I'm doing here. You know where we are, right?
Yes, we're in Barovia. Last I remember was I was at the dragon's house. Yes, I went there. I was searching for something, searching for help or something. I don't remember. But
I've heard that
killing
before.
Killian,
What is the dragon's house?
I don't remember exactly, but it's a house. More like
Nice.
a castle of some kind that here in the land, but Killian, you must not underestimate Vladimir. I believe he was the one who killed me. He must have. He must have taken it. Yes, he took the sword from me. Sword.
Sword.
He took it.
Okay.
Yes. And you see that as he kind of steps closer, he's going to reach a hand out and grab your shoulder. He's going to say, Killian, you must get the Sword of Sunlight back. It is key. Yes, it's the key.
I don't know how I'm supposed to do it. I mean, if you couldn't do it, chance do I have? I'll tell you, it's not likely.
And you see that he's going to keep his hand on your shoulder, but he's going to look around, and he's going to see Ireana, or at least the camp set up.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to say, Killian, you've already done more than I could do. You've made friends. It appears you have allies. I believed I could do it all on my own. And I failed. You're already doing it. And just the fact that you're here and alive means that you're brave. You're strong. You're going to have to be.
Yes, I'm brave. I mean, who do you think I learned it from? You're the bravest of them all.
But you got the brains. As he kind of gives us a chuckle. You have something that I never did. You have a gift. And you're going to need it. Now, Killian.
Sometimes I just don't know why I'm here, Tavix. I feel like everything we've done just led up to this, but why?
There's much that we don't know. This land, it is ours. It was our family's land. We are connected to it in more ways than I was ever able to figure out why. But, Killian, I believe that you can figure out why. You need to get the sword. I know that it has something about it that completes something. And you see that he kind of looks down. And then as his hand is on your shoulder, you see that it kind of hits him and he says, yes, the armor. Your armor, my armor, our family, something
Creepy armor?
to do with it. You what?
It's creepy armor. You're talking about it?
Yes, there's something that connects it here with this land, with the sword, with the mission. And I believe you can figure it out.
Did your armor, did it talk to you? Did it say stuff in your mind?
I can't remember anything specific, but I believe it did. It's all kind of blurry. But Killian, you must know, and he's going to kind of touch your face, and he say, I'm proud of you. And I know that our family is proud. I believe that you can make our ancestors proud as well. Good luck, Killian. And you see that he slowly starts to kind of fade, become a little bit more see-through.
I put my hand out, as if to like almost like touch his chest to see if like he was becoming corporeal, but just passes right through him.
Mm-hmm.
Slips right through.
Is there any
I
last
take out a
thing that
little
you would like
notebook.
to...
Yeah, I take out a little notebook, and my notebook where I keep my notes, and I kind of jot down just a couple of little like points from like what he was talking about. Sword, key, question mark, arm to the land, mark. Yeah.
And he's going to look at you as his body is fading away, and he's going to say, "Goodbye, brother." And then his head will fade. And the last thing that will remain is that arm, is that hand. And then it slowly fades into this almost vapor of green. And then you find yourself left alone on the bridge.
I just made my way back to.
All right. The rest of the night for both parties is quiet, calm. And the sun comes up. Silas and Xeno, you have a choice. You can go the long route, which will take almost a full day's travel to get to the bridge, or you can take the fast path up the mountain and do it in about a half a day's travel.
How are you feeling? This morning.
Well,
How are you? Sorry, I had something in my throat.
No, it's me too. Fine, I guess.
Anything exciting? That raven ever come back?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna look around. Did the raven come back?
Give me a perception.
Okay.
There's 500 ravens staring at you from all the trees surrounding you. Roll for initiative.
I hope so. That would be very cool. Death by falling? No, death by ravens.
Death by birds.
And I thought
Little
so.
did you know, but you are living in the movie The Birds.
Yes.
You're all going to die.
8.
You kind of look around and you don't really see any of the ravens around or anything like that.
Guess we're in the clear for now.
I was kind of hoping it would be here. Maybe we could ask it some questions.
Yeah. Anyway,
Are we gonna brave a cliff, or are we gonna go the long way around?
I don't know.
Personally,
I mean, I think
I would
go
love
on.
I would love some revenge against this cliff.
yeah. And I figure we've kept Killian and Ireana waiting long enough, supposing they did wait for us.
Hopefully they did.
We're vulnerable on the road, so the sooner we all can move on together, I think the better.
At least we know if they did stay by the water, they're maybe safe.
That's fair, yeah. Running water and whatnot. Oh, well. My, rope is kind of done for. Do you have any?
I actually do. I'll be back. I'll skitter down into my...
I always imagine sometimes when you, like, pop into your shell, you, like, jump up in the air and pull all your limbs in. It, like, falls on the ground.
Yeah, love it. Yes.
Like,
Love it.
Yeah.
I'll come back out with some rope. This time, we're not cutting it. Right?
Sure.
At least give me a chance to save you.
All right. Let's hope I won't need saving this time.
Now, if I remember, your rope
Mm-hmm.
is not just regular rope. I think you got the fancy stuff, correct? If I'm remembering correctly, the silk, whatever rope.
I just got hempen.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay. Then never mind.
Dang it, that silk rope is magical. We should have bought it. Let's go back.
All right. Let's go back to Barovia. I like take the rope in my arms and I'm about to tie it around my waist and I kind of look at Xeno. Unless you think you can do a better job.
How about we work on it together?
All right.
Make sure they're sturdy this time. I'll give you advantage.
Bam.
Is it okay if I roll survival for this?
Yep. 100%. Sounds awesome.
Never roll intimidation.
19.
Very nice, very nice.
Now listen here, you rope. You're gonna stay tight.
Take this. Take this.
Now make sure once you get the knot done, you tap it and you say, "She ain't going nowhere." Those are the magic words.
I kind of tap the rope. Yeah, she ain't going nowhere.
I feel
Like
safer
that?
already. Perfect.
Good, good. Yeah, me too, strangely enough.
Anybody who's told you anything knows.
That's how you do
And then I will tie Xeno's as well.
it.
Let's go.
Nice.
Nice.
17s.
Okay. So you both will get advantage on these checks.
All right.
And I'm going to say that along with the rope, you guys also, you're familiar with the terrain. I mean, you guys made it almost up the whole mountain. Like you've kind of looked through, almost made it up. You've actually seen it falling down as well. So
We gotta be real careful about. Halfway up, I saw a loose rock on my way down.
Excellent.
I'm gonna just be continually tapping Silas and just being like, "You got this. We got this." Like every minute, just continually
Okay.
casting guidance.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, like you guys are gonna get guidance on that, like,
and Bardic.
and so advantage plus guidance.
I'll give myself
Plus
Bardic,
Bardic.
dropping it all.
Dude, if we fall off this mountain again, oh my gosh.
All right. So same as last time, we're gonna do 2 checks. The first one's DC 10. The second one's DC 15. Or, I think that's how I did it.
And it's athletics.
And we still
or-
failed.
You can do.
I think we did survival
Survival.
or
Or athletics or dexterity. Like, if you can explain it in a good way, I'm fine with whatever, as long as you can explain it in a way that makes sense to me. So,
Silas is gonna roll survival because he is gonna do everything he can to not fall off this mountain and survive, essentially.
okay. Yeah, that
I'm
sounds
doing
great.
Survival as well.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, good.
11 for me.
Hold on. And I get guidance too, right?
Yep. D4.
Yep. Nice.
All right. Whew.
Okay.
It's a close one. And now the second
You
one.
guys pass? Yep. Now
Yeah, I
the
got
second one.
13.
All right. So far, so good.
Perfect. 18 for me.
Nice.
Perfect. 16. Okay.
Nice. Excellent.
So you guys are super careful, and you pass actually along the way. You pass a couple sections that are kind of broken off, and you remember them greatly as the 2 spots that you guys all almost fell.
This time was much easier. I can't believe I didn't see all these railroad ties going up the path.
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's astonishing. I mean, I don't know how we missed every easy path. I mean, we were really... Maybe we were a little too tired.
Silas, when he reaches the part where he fell, that second spot, kind of near the top, kind of like sits for a moment, kind of like staring at the spot and staring like down off the edge, and how actually like seriously high this is. Just contemplating just contemplating the fact that he almost died right there again. And then he just kind of keeps moving on.
Okay. Killian, is there anything out of the ordinary that you would like to do aside from cleaning up camp, getting food, waiting for them, kind of a thing? Is there anything specific?
Trying to think here. Yeah, I would have been sorry, my mic. I've been working. I'd like to start working on my hand crossbow that we talked about with the that shoots.
Yes.
I'd like to start working on that. I think with just some extra time that we have, not knowing how long it would take for them to get back up here, I'd start working on that.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll me some sort of crafting check using one of your tools. I'm not familiar with all the tools that you have, but
I got like pretty much all of them. I'm pretty sure I have the right tool for the job, and magical tinkering. So magical tinkering that doesn't have anything to do with it. But I do have right tool for the job. I'll say like, yeah. I can create any kind of artisan tools I want. So I probably, for working with wood, I probably would have brought up some like carpenter tools, I guess, for working with wood. I don't know. It's also a weapon, so
maybe some tinker tools in there.
I believe, do I get it? Yeah. You know, if I would get advantage on this, I believe I would. Would it be like performance based, or maybe just my dexterity, or I don't know.
I would say because you're using your tools, I would almost argue intelligence, to be honest.
Just add my intelligence. I like that.
Yeah,
makes sense.
You're using your smarts to kind of figure this thing out, you know?
Yep. Okay.
Nice.
Ooh,
Okay.
heck yeah. So 1, got an 18 and 16, both plus 5. So 18 plus 5, 23.
Okay. Yeah, you're actually able to get quite a bit of this thing done, honestly. There's a few custom pieces that you kind of need to work with. And that might take just a little bit longer, but I mean, you've worked on this for a solid, almost 6 hours. So it's looking almost done.
Heck yeah. I would say that I would start working on. You guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just checking. I would say that I would start the pieces that I would start trying to figure out first is, the like reloading mechanic, almost have like some kind of still trying to think about how, if it's possible to get it, like I'm thinking logic, but then I realized that this is a fantasy world and anything really goes. So
Yeah.
This is all in our imagination, so honestly,
yep.
It could be like top fed, but it like comes up from the top and then extends out to the side, almost like a stun gun. How it's
like an L.
How it's got the side clip, but it could just kind of come up.
You know what? We'll just chalk this up to Killian is much smarter than me.
Yeah,
he can figure this out. So we'll say that it looks like it comes from the side.
awesome. And again, like you have most of this thing. It appears to be working. There's just some custom pieces that you've got to kind of really just buffer out to really get this thing working. Okay,
right?
But it's looking about there. Okay, awesome. So, Killian, Silas and Xeno, you make it up this mountain, and finally you see this bridge right in front of you, and you know that you're there. You're at the top.
as we get up to the top, I'm gonna fall on the back of my turtle shell and just let
You
my
spin
arms.
a little bit.
Yeah, and just let my arms dangle down to the side. Just. I'm so glad you didn't fall, 'cause I really don't want to hike up that again.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably not tired because you don't have lungs or anything, but that was exhausting.
Yeah. But look at this view as I kind of like stand on the bridge and like look over the valley beneath it.
Pop my head up. Yeah, it's quite something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you get tired though? Like, you don't have to breathe, so I didn't really think that through. But you don't really get that type of winded.
Nah. Not that I know of.
Just more of a
It's
like.
weird.
Is it like more of a mental exhaustion then?
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. Almost feels like my ability to keep myself going begins to slip.
Is that the reason for the kind of meltdown moments, the breakdown moments? And I mean that with all respect.
You know, I don't rightly know.
It's gotta get exhausting not being able to sleep and have any type of rest from that.
Yeah. I never thought of it that way. But yeah.
Well, I will figure out a way to get you some sleep. I don't know how, but
Well, I appreciate it. You don't have to.
maybe if we removed your head.
Oh, hey, look, it's Killian and
Oh, yes.
Ireana.
Yeah, we should probably go let them know.
And just then, Silas, you almost get tackled by Ireana. And she says, "Oh my goodness, you're alive!"
Yeah. As well, as alive as I can be, I suppose.
And Xeno, and she's gonna kind of turn to you and also give you a hug. And
Yes.
she's going to say, that was so brave. Thank you for bringing him back."
Absolutely, we don't leave friends behind. He was either gonna come to the top of this waterfall or end up in a hole.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm glad it was the latter. I mean, former.
I cut
Me
him
too.
off. I cut him off from the edge of the cliff. Don't do it. I'm glad it was the latter as he jumps off, swan dives.
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Silas looks around for Killian.
You'd be chilling over by the campfire. And as soon as you walk up, he says, Ireana took bets, and she said you guys wouldn't make it back, but I always knew you would.
I'm sure our note helped. Well, let's kind of look around. Should we get a move on?
Might as well for a couple more hours.
yeah, and you guys you'd still have a few hours to be able to kind of get on the road.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd say we'd move as far and as fast as we can. Say, I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad Xeno came back. But we don't have time to wait around and mope about the fact that one of us might be gone. We got a mission to complete. So let's get a move on.
Aye, aye, Captain. So did anything interesting happen as we were walking along? It was a pretty restful night.
Well, Killian was the one who watched most of the night. I took the first shift, and I believe he got the latter half, but I didn't see much. What about you, Killian?
Oh yeah, it was super eventful. I really had to show some bed bugs who's boss.
Nice. I'm glad that there was no major incidents, no wolves coming out of the woodwork.
Or vampires?
Or vampires.
See any sign of Strahd's agents?
Yeah, what was that guy's name? I have it. Do you remember?
I'm refraining from just saying it.
Don't say it, I have it.
I'm not gonna say it.
Rahadin.
Ah,
Remember that?
Rahadin.
Yeah,
That's right.
That annoying one.
Didn't see him.
Good. There's probably the water. So tough, but he's afraid of some running water. Hey, so when we get to Valoki, what's the plan? What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
I think we
I
should
kind of
do the exact same thing we did in Barovia. Go in, conquer, dominate, and move on in 3 days.
I'm not so sure that's what we accomplished, but I kind of turned to Ireana. What is it that you're going to plan to do in Valoki?
Well, I don't quite know. As I've said, I've never been there, and I don't believe that they have any family or anything who lives there, but I'm hoping to maybe find a place that I can stay, or maybe talk to the clergy and see if I could somehow help out around there for a little bit until I get more direction. But I just have heard that Valoki is safe. And that's what leads me.
What is there anything in particular that makes it safer?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard stories. Some say that this is the wall that they've built around. Some say that it is some form of magic, some holy old magic that keeps it safe. But who knows?
There's somebody, I don't know who, but I wrote down in my little book here that apparently there's a rumor or myth that the church there keeps holy weapons of some kind. Who knows where, but hopefully
it could.
Father Lucian is the, what did you call it? The clergy?
Yes.
Yes, he,
The holy man,
apparently he's the one who runs the church there, so maybe we'll have better luck this time around.
You see that she, remembering Father Donovich, kind of pauses and says, yes, yes, I hope so as well.
Also, the
So-
whole going into Valoki, like Barovia, was a joke. I don't actually want to do that again. I'll stay maybe at least 5 days this time. We'll just keep walking.
Okay. So I'm gonna pull up the map here, just real quick. It's a map, so we can all
It's the map.
look at the map. So it's the map. It's the map.
It's map.
It's the map.
So here's the bridge right here,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and you guys are able to kind of walk up. Again, this is all an incline, a slight incline. You're able to walk up and around this curve
Okay.
right
Okay.
here, and then it gets about fairly dark, and so it's about time to kind of stop and set up camp. But you know that it'll be a few days to get to Vallaki, but you'll maybe 2 or so you'll be able to kind of make it.
Yeah. Kind of like I'm looking at the road, looking up. It's gonna take us about 2 or so days to make it to Vallaki.
Should we camp here for the night then?
Yeah. I don't know if it's. Or I guess would it be safer to camp on the road or safer to camp off the road?
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably on the
What is
road,
my-
I would assume.
What does my gut tell me? I'm gonna roll a gut
What
check.
does your gut tell me? Yeah, go roll a gut check.
Is that an insight?
Yeah, go ahead or do a it depends.
On.
Yeah, let's do an insight.
Okay. 21.
Okay. So
Dang.
you've had experience, or not necessarily experience, but intuition that just kind of seems to come out of nowhere. And you know that trails obviously are usually walked by people and the sort. And wildlife tends to be out in the forest more. And so you kind of have a feeling that it really depends on what you're trying to miss. You, again, like I said, you have this insight that at some point in your life, you used to avoid trails
Mm-hmm.
because you wanted to avoid people.
People. Interesting.
But it doesn't necessarily mean safer.
That's safer. Well, my gut says camp off the trail. Seems as though those people who are after Ireana, they wouldn't be the kind that would blaze their own trails through the woods, but follow the paths that are common. We might encounter some unsavory wildlife in the woods, but I bet in our state we'll fare better against that than we would any attack from vampires or the like.
Let's do it then. I trust your judgment. Off the trail it is.
I'll just walk. Far. Is it woods around us or no? What is the landscape like around us?
So it's more mountainous. So there's thicker kind of pine trees almost.
Mm-hmm.
And off to your, so the trails going this way, off to your right would be more down the mountain,
Mm-hmm.
and off to your, or I think I said that backwards, whatever it is, off this way, kind of goes up to the mountain.
That's okay. So right. Is that your right
Which
hand?
you would know is towards the castle.
Yeah.
So towards the castle is up, and away is kind of more down. If you can look at the map and figure that out. So,
well, up or down?
Up.
I agree.
With up.
We'll have the high ground.
And everybody knows that once you have the high ground, it's over.
Sorry, I had to.
it's over, Killian. I have the high ground.
Only a Strahd deals in absolutes.
That's right. That's a good saying. I like that.
I don't know where I heard that from.
Yes, I'll start cooking some food and helping set up bedrolls.
You saw your brother, Killian. He was the chosen one.
He was the chosen one.
He's supposed to bring balance to Barovia.
Not join them.
Not leaving. Not leaving in darkness.
Not leaving in darkness.
Sorry, I can't.
I love you.
He was supposed to avenge your ancestors, not join them.
Oh,
all right.
Xeno's like, you were my brothers, Silas. Silas is like, I hate you.
Chill. Oh,
That's great.
oh man.
That's good. Okay.
While Xeno's cooking dinner, I will walk around the campsite a little bit, keep my eyes and ears ready, and then I'm gonna make my way over to Killian. And I'm gonna say, hey, kid, I know I asked you to work on, engraving this here revolver, but it seems as though I got a bigger project that needs a little closer attention.
yeah, what are you thinking?
I just dump the bag with all of the parts of my lever action. Just kind of like on the floor in front of Killian.
That is a problem.
So remind me real quick, how many of your guns survived?
One.
It's just his offhand
One,
pistol.
and it's just a revolver.
Yep.
Okay.
His
So,
rifle was
the
completely
way-
destroyed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then from what I understand, my other revolver was damaged, but not like completely destroyed. Like, I think from what you described, I could
I think
work on
like
it.
you could fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would take some time and effort, but
Okay.
I could fix it. But the rifle, like,
Okay. Yeah.
I've taken this rifle apart a fair time before, but nothing like this. I don't even know where to begin.
So you want me to fix it?
Yeah. If you would be so kind, it means a lot to me. Belonged to somebody I cared about deeply.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you.
And then Killian would reach down and kind of grab all the little pieces, really excited to kind of have another project to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a couple springs, a bunch of screws. There's the wood foregrip and the stock, which are broken and shattered, and some other pieces of it that are bent. And, there's a good chance not even all the pieces are there. But hey, I don't know. I did my best to pick up what I could.
Tyson, the engraving that it's on, is it broken? Like, is it like, would like the engraving that was on the gun, would it be broken at all? If it is, I would like to fix
name?
it. And like part of the process, you know, like the engraving that that Silas's wife had written on there, like if it was cracked, if there was like a crack going in between it or something like that, like I just want to, I don't know, if it was like just damaged, like I just want to like take extra care of that part and try to fix it.
Okay. Sounds good. And
Renew
I
it.
think, I'm pretty sure I said that it was one of the only things that was left intact,
Gotcha.
if I'm remembering correctly.
You did.
But
Mhm.
it would maybe be a little bent out of shape. And so,
And
you know,
dirty.
I'm kind of picturing, yeah, like a
Scuffed and
little
scratched.
bronze,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's like a plate or something
Like
that was on it.
circle
I don't know.
plate,
That's just,
yeah, that was on the bottom.
yeah,
Like where the bottom of the grip was, that was maybe
Oh.
screwed in. Yeah.
yeah. That's
I
kind of
thought
what I'm
maybe it was like
picturing.
engraved in there, like a carving, like in the wood. But I like that. I'd like to polish
know, whatever-
as part
whatever-
of fixing it up. I want to.
Yeah, whatever you want, Jeff. That's up to you
Yeah.
as far as what it looks
Whatever
like. but-
Zane wants. Whatever Zane wants
Okay.
to fix
If
my
it's-
gun to be.
If it's a pull like a copper or bronzed or metal plate of any kind with engravings on there, I'd like to polish it
Mm.
up as
Yeah.
part of
Okay.
fixing it. You know, make it look real
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, and you could always add like
If there's any
embellishments
rust,
if you
buff it
wanted
off.
to or something, like make the stock have the name or like you know, like feel free to do what you want.
And I'm
but
assuming it will take time for him to fix this too. Like this won't
Yes,
be a
and-
tonight thing. It will be over the next several episodes.
Yeah, and I will say, he might need your help. Like he might be like, hey, what does this do? And there might be times where he may need to like kind of look at your other gun to see how the insides function and see,
Mm.
you know, what makes things go. So it might kind of be more of a group effort between you two. And he may need to kind of take apart one of your guns one night or something like that. So it'll be a process.
Okay.
But I will say that you can get your other gun. I'll say that you can fix it tonight.
Okay. Well, if I
mostly
roll
because,
well enough.
yeah, if you roll
Fix
well,
it.
exactly.
I'll kind of sit down and be tinkering with it while
Okay.
I don't expect. I think like I know Killian well enough that I think he would want to like not just be told how to fix it, but to kind of figure it out and like.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of like sitting there and watching him kind of like go through all the parts and things, you know, seeing what fits together, what doesn't, and polishing the nameplate and whatnot. And I'll be tinkering with my gun, trying to fix that as well. Which I think basically it's essentially like a misfire. I must make Tinkerer's Tools check DC equal 8 plus misfire score. Revolvers is a 2. You can add
Yeah.
anything to that to make
Let's
it
maybe add
higher.
like, because what's it at right now?
It's at 10.
8 plus 10.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
go ahead. I was gonna say 5 to make it an even 15.
Okay.
Just because it was literally dropped off a cliff.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's not impossible to fix tonight, but it's somewhat more of a harder check.
Okay. And when I'm using Tinkerer's Tools, I just add my proficiency, right? I don't add anything else.
I would go ahead and add dexterity
Okay.
to it as well. It just makes sense. Tinker's Tools.
Alrighty then. I've got a +6, so I have to roll a 9 to fix it right now.
Okay.
And I rolled a 6. It's alright.
Okay.
I realize there's a little more work that needs to be done than I thought there did.
Yeah. And maybe, you know, you kind of get a few things together. Maybe next time the check will be a little bit lower. But yeah,
And as I'm
you kind of
doing
work on that.
Oh.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I was gonna just say, Ireana, what is
Yes.
favorite memory you had of your father?
Well,
A lot of people in Barovia spoke very highly of him. And if Ismark is any bit of example of who your father was, and it seems like a pretty amazing man.
yes, he was. I remember that um, there was a time that um, the taxes were coming due, and the village was not able to pull together enough funds from their usual manner, and my father on days that he wasn't out helping them, this time he actually gave one of his father's heirlooms as payment to Strahd. I mean, there were times that he could have left Barovia. He was smart enough and well-to-do man that we could have left and gone to Valaki, but he wanted to stay because he knew that Barovia needed someone. And he taught me to not give up on those who are in need of help, no matter the circumstance.
He taught you well.
Yes. Do you remember your father?
No, I don't. And I don't know if that's because I got trouble with my memory or if that's because he just wasn't around much.
Hmm. What about you, Killian?
What about me?
What do you remember of your father?
My dad. Um, he's a good man. Not too stern. Generally tries to live a good life. Does his best as he can.
You, Xeno? Surely you had a father, right?
Well, I did, but he got eaten by wolves in front of me when I was very young. It was,
It's kind of like looks around in the woods.
it was quite
Like,
dramatic, really.
yeah.
You know, life happens.
Oh, I guess. Was he camping or did they attack a village or?
We were just moving around, and I just remember sitting in my tent, and I heard some rustling outside, and I stuck my head out, and there he was, getting eaten by wolves like people do.
Like people do.
Yeah, right when Killian says, I look at Ireana, like, wondering if this is a normal occurrence.
And you see that she's kind of shocked as well, but she says, well, I mean, I guess it does happen.
I mean, he was a good
I'm
man
sorry.
and all, but, his time came, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I would have liked him. I've never really thought too much about it.
How young were you?
Maybe 7 or 8.
What about your mom?
I don't know where she ended up. And I was probably 16 or 17. I just kind of left. She left. Just kind of split ways.
And you've never talked to her or seen her since?
Well, I don't know why I would. Is that normal for you all?
And I look around the campfire. I can't honestly say what is or isn't normal, I suppose. Each person's different.
Have you ever considered seeing a therapist?
No, what's that? Is that like one of those herbalists?
Yeah, I
No.
think he was just trying to say herbalist, and he, because of his lisp, it came out therapist.
He gives a glance at Silas.
Therapist.
No, they're someone that you talk to about the hard things that you deal with in life. Actually, read a few books and scrolls on it.
That sounds made up.
I've never really thought about talking to somebody about it because I guess it doesn't really get to me. I don't have any pent-up aggression about it. It's just life. It is what it is.
Well, let's hope there's not any wolves tonight, I guess.
Well, even if there is, hopefully they only get one of us. That was the benefit of my father being so much larger than I was, is that by the time he was eaten, the wolves weren't hungry anymore and they just kind of wandered off. There's an upside to everything, right?
Silver linings, I guess.
Well, anyways, I'm gonna turn in for the night. Good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night.
Yeah.
I turn to Silas. I have no idea how he even sleeps at night.
Yeah.
It's a lot of damage.
I mean, if I'm going to be completely honest, it explains a lot. But,
I would have to agree.
everyone lives their own way, I suppose. And Xeno just has lived his differently than ours.
Yeah.
And I kind of
I
turn
take
to
out my little
Ireana.
notebook.
Oh.
I just take out my little notebook and I write down a little scribbling, just a little Xeno haunted by his dark past but represses it.
Question mark.
Question mark.
Yeah. It's like, fix him? Question mark.
I'll turn to Ireana.
Bipolar disorder? Question mark.
Is You're good and set for everything tonight?
Yes, I believe so. She kind of gestures to the tent. Says, I believe I will just stay in there, but if anyone else needs it, they are welcome to take it, and I can sleep elsewhere. But
Nah, it's Killian and I are fine roughing it, aren't we, kid?
Yep.
all right. Well, on that note, I will see you in the morning. Good luck. She goes off.
You know, Silas, I'm kind of jealous that you don't have to sleep. I would have so much time for projects to finish.
Yeah, I guess it's a
I get
blessing and
so
a
much
curse.
work done.
Yeah, but it's not good for your health. I hear if you don't sleep much, you just turn into nothing but skin and bones.
Mm.
That was a joke, by the way. It was.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because
mean,
I'm nothing but.
yeah. I guess you
Yeah, all right. Silas just kind of stands up
got nothing to be afraid of.
and he's like, "Oh, walk the perimeter one more time and come back, do my watch."
Okay. And Killian, will you roll me a I'm trying to think. Maybe do a Tinker's tools check as you're kind of gathering information
Yep.
on the revolver. Just trying to see if you can kind of put things together and like how they work.
Okay, I'm rolling that with advantage with my intelligence added to it. I'm assuming. Okay, 11.
Yeah.
So I got 16. And I would say that
Okay.
the first thing I start doing is cleaning all of the parts. Like the very first thing. Make sure all the parts are clean and oiled before I start putting them together.
Okay. Perfect. So you're able to accomplish that. And yeah. Tonight, Silas, luckily, it's kind of a quiet night. You do hear some howls in the distance, but nothing seems to kind of come close to the camp.
Hey, real quick, one thing I want to do in the middle of the night. After like a couple
Mhm.
hours, can I come out and try to sneak up to Killian? Or whenever he's gone to bed, I just want to sneak up next to him, if possible.
Okay.
And without him noticing or without disturbing him, I would like to cast Cure Wounds on him to try and fix his tongue.
Okay.
I don't know if at this point it's just too far gone and it's going to need like some type of restoration, but I figure we should probably do this sooner than later.
Okay.
I still think it's pretty funny.
I do too. I'm just going to feel bad if Zeta has to do that for the next 50 episodes.
Okay.
I don't mind it.
No skin off his back.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll.
I fix it and you just still choose to talk like that.
Still choose to talk like that. Go ahead and roll a stealth check with advantage because he's asleep.
Okay.
But if you would roll, will you roll 2 D20s? Because the first one I want to be for Silas, but then the advantage you can take whichever one, if that makes sense.
Okay, so the first one, just roll 1.
Yep. And then, okay, so 18, and then go ahead and roll another one. And then you can take whichever one's
Tyson,
higher, but
roll.
Silas gets the 18.
Random question, Tyson. Would my
go for it.
suit of armor, would my suit of armor sleep? I assume it wouldn't. Would it be aware? Now, whether it decides to like be like, hey, something's going on, or not, that's up to you. But I just
Yeah.
want to throw that out there. More out of curiosity
That-
than anything. This is a situation.
Yeah, that is an interesting thing. I will have to ponder that. But, yeah. Do you want to... So, Silas, roll me a perception check. Normal. And Killian, do one with disadvantage.
Silas
Yeah,
is distracted.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well-
you Xeno, you are really sneaky, and not even Silas, who's keeping watch, notices.
It's not,
Silas is like half.
And that
keeping
includes casting the spell with the
Wow.
verbal components and everything.
as I like step on a
So-
stick and like snap it, and Silas doesn't even move. I'm gonna think to myself, that's not very comforting.
watch. So you look over. And Silas is actually not really keeping watch at all. Silas kind of has his back to the fire so that there's light reflecting, and he's holding a steel mirror, and he has a knife. But because it's on the other side of his body, you can't really tell what's going on, but you can tell like he's carving something.
I'll go over and cast Cure Wounds real quick. Maybe it'll work. And I want to get up right behind Silas. And kind of just slowly extend my neck so I come into his peripheral vision. What you working on?
When you do that, Silas kind of drops his knife and his mirror. If you'll allow me, Tyson, this all kind of happens like in an instant. And he grabs his gun and holds it beneath your chin. And then like right when he turns to you, you see Silas's human disguise come up.
So jumpy,
He goes-
so jumpy.
Xeno,
What?
what are you doing?
I'm just seeing what you're doing.
Yeah. Keeping watch. What do you think?
You're doing a good job at it, too. I'm
Silas
teasing you.
just narrows his eyes.
It's okay, you've been through a lot in the past day. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you or anything.
And he kind of like leans back up against the tree now, facing the fire, and sets his gun down. Yeah. No worries. I actually kind of enjoy your company. Sometimes these stretches they just get lonely.
It's understandable. At least we're all together.
Yeah.
Did you hear that wolf? There it is.
And that one, yeah. Kind of reminds me of the coyotes that would call out when I was out on the range.
Is that like a wolf?
Yeah, yeah. Just a
Interesting.
little smaller, dirtier, but in my opinion, a little more wily, a little more. Tricky.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, at least if they come to eat us, they're not gonna go for you first as long as they're hungry, right?
I don't know. I've known a dog or two to have a hankering to chew on a bone, so. Here, watch this. I like to do this sometimes. And I pick up a small rock and I throw it at Killian.
Let me try, and I'm gonna start picking up like a baseball-sized rock.
No. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
What?
whoa. Whoa. No, it's got to be real small.
Oh.
Like a pebble. You just like drop it like it
Yeah.
thuds to the ground.
Boom.
It's got to be real small. The point is you gotta see slowly how big you can, increase the size before he actually wakes up.
Well, maybe another night. I'm quite exhausted.
All right.
Good night.
Next time we'll stack some sticks on him or something.
I love it.
And I'll go get back in my hut.
I just wake up with like a whole lean-to built on top of me.
Like what the?
It's like, I've been building in my sleep.
Yeah, Killian just thinks that he's like
Building
arranging
stuff in his
pebbles.
sleep.
He's like, it's so weird. I fall asleep and there's no pebbles around me, but then when I wake up, there's pebbles all around my head.
It's almost like they're drawn
think
to
I'm
me. I
attracted
don't know
to
what it
pebbles.
is.
I'm the master of
Yeah,
the rocks.
Silas will actually stand watch the rest of the night. I think he's a little embarrassed that he was caught working on a project, so he'll be a little more vigilant and just sort of keep the fire very low. He won't build it very big, but also won't let it die down on coals. And wait the night out.
And as morning comes, you guys kind of all get together, you eat some food, you clean up camp,
I make
and
coffee.
you continue down the road. And you make some coffee. And you continue down the road. And you soon find yourself approaching a crossroads. And you see that the path that leads, again, further up the mountain almost appears to have patches of cobblestone, suggesting that it was once an important trail. And then the dirt road continues on.
I kind of look up the pathway that's called kind of going up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of turn to Ireana. That's the road to Castle Ravenloft.
It must be, yes.
Another day.
Exactly what I was thinking.
All right. Keep on going. Silas kind of like walks backwards, kind of just staring at this road with a half smile on his face, and then he turns around and keeps on trucking.
And as you continue down this dirt road, you find yourself looking at a somewhat familiar view. You see large stone walls with two statues standing on either side, both holding weapons and both missing their heads. You recognize this as it's not exactly, but it looks very similar to the gates that you entered in when you first came into the land.
Why in the middle of it all? I have gates on this side as well.
And Ireana, she kind of says, well, it is said that these gates were once a way of protecting the area of Barovia.
Hmm.
And the castle therein and the city. But now they are more of a cage.
Interesting. Something to keep the devil out, and yet he snuck his way through the cracks.
I believe that is the perfect way to say it.
But I hope that one day we can restore them. Change this land for the better.
Yes, I hope we can as well.
I'm gonna go up to the gates. Are they locked?
No. And as you approach, they swing open
That's
on their own accord.
extremely uncomfortable. I don't like that.
That is very cool.
Well, I suppose we should keep on then, yes?
Yeah.
Have we seen anybody on the road?
No, you haven't.
People don't travel here much, huh? It's been like 2 full days and 3 days we haven't seen anybody. I thought we'd maybe at least see one.
Don't be too certain. Now that you said that, I've got a feeling you might be jinxing us. Keep an eye out.
Let's knock on wood, right?
And I'll knock on the stone of the wall.
Yes, let's hope we don't. So as you continue down this road, the road slowly transitions here from being a winding footpath through the Baratok Mountains to a lazy trail that kind of hugs the mountainside as it descends into the foggy valley. Far off, in the more of the heart of the valley, you see a small walled town near the shores of a great mountain lake. Its waters are dark and still. Halfway between you and the town, perched on a hill, is a windmill. Smoke wafts out of a small chimney, and you can almost smell the sweet aroma of baked goods in the air. And as you continue down the winding trail, you descend further into the valley.
Well, I suppose.
And eventually,
I was just gonna say we made it.
go for it.
I'm assuming this is Velaki.
Yeah. Not quite. Looks more like whatever her name is with the pies.
Oh yes, Granny M. I didn't even notice
Granny
that
M.
mill over there. You're right. I mean, we could stop by, you know.
Yeah. I mean, do you trust him?
I trust
Holster.
that it's made of human meat.
Definitely.
Was that a definitely to the human meat part or the trusting him part?
Both. It was easier to just answer them at the same time.
Yeah, well, I figure got about another day's journey to Valaki. There might be no harm in sleeping with a roof over our heads for once. I trust you, Xeno.
I appreciate that.
And eventually, as you continue walking, you reach a fork in the road. Let me pull up that map again there. So you reach a fork in the road. And the well-kept sign stands in the middle of the splitting roads. The one continues down the road, reads Valaki, and it points, again, deeper into the valley. And one that points off to the side reads The Old Mill. And it kind of points off to more of a hill like terrain.
Technically, we own this mill, don't we?
Yeah.
Then we definitely have to stop in.
All right.
Gotta make sure there's no squatters.
Yes. Well, I mean, Granny Ann seems to bring hope to this land.
Yeah, she brings something as Silas readies his revolver.
What is that? What is that?
Hey, man, just a precaution.
She is a nice, normal woman.
Yeah,
Nothing suspicious about her at all.
I'm sure.
She's totally normal.
Let's get going before it gets dark.
Yep, I think that's a good idea.
Hey, and as you continue up the path, the smell, again, of baked goods grows stronger and stronger. And you notice that the vegetation begins to clear out as you kind of head up this hill towards the mill. And it becomes more grass hills than thick forest. Xeno, you notice hanging on a tree a small bundle of sticks, and it appears to be in the rough shape of a man. And then hanging in an adjacent tree, you see, again, more sticks that are kind of shaped like a star, and another like a bird. And as you continue walking, you notice more and more of these small effigies hanging in trees and on shrubs.
I'm sure those are just art projects or something. You know how old people are. Just kind of take note of them and keep making my way to the door, to the front of this mill.
And as you continue up this path, a raven appears in one of the trees. And it looks almost agitated as it squawks at you. It continues to squawk and flap its wings.
Hey, yeah, maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
There's no sense in turning around now.
I'm not so sure.
I didn't want to admit this, but I've really been craving some of the pies.
I kind of like step in front of Ireana, in between him, and I go, okay.
I just really think that we should go. I think it's important. I feel like we could get a lot out of it.
How's the Raven acting right now?
Still the same. Just kind of sitting there, staring at you, and every once in a while it'll squawk and kind of flap its wings.
Yeah. No, I don't. Just doesn't feel right.
Or do you just want to wait here then? I have to go to that mill.
Don't worry, Silas. I'll go with Xeno and make sure he doesn't get in any trouble.
Sure know how to get my confidence. I look at Xeno. How close are we to the mill?
You can't see it yet, but if you were to turn the corner, you feel like it would be
Right there.
visible. Mm-hmm. So you're about halfway up this trail.
I look at Xeno. I say 30 minutes. And then we leave.
All right, 45 it is.
15.
I'll see you when I see you. Unless you're gonna come along, of course.
No, I'm saying we'll all go, but we're only staying for 30 minutes.
All right, fine.
And Silas has a revolver in hand. And his sword in his other one as he approaches with the Xeno.
There's nothing to be worried about. It's fine, I assure you.
And as you kind of turn this corner, you see that perched on top of a hill, you see a well-kept windmill with its large fan blades rotating slowly in the breeze. Behind the windmill, a few hills back, you see 4 large stones that stand tall and all face each other. And you see ravens are circling these megaliths. The windmill itself is white plaster with almost a glisten in the dim light of Barovia. A wooden platform encircles the windmill's second floor exterior. A familiar, colorful sign hangs above the main door that reads, Morgan's Dream Pastries. And you can almost taste the smell of the familiar pastries. And that is where we're going to end this session.
I got a bad feeling about this one.
This is fine, dude. The ravens are here. They're our friend.
It seemed like he did not want us to go here.
We're
Comment in
fine.
the below whether this was a good decision or a bad one.
Whether you think the Ravens are for or against
It was good.
meat pies.
Are the Ravens our friends?
All right, and thanks so much for watching. You can follow us on our socials down below. Make sure to like and subscribe the video and all those good things. Stay tuned for more episodes of Curse of Strahd coming every Saturday. In the meantime, check out Season 1 of Heroes of Theros as we get ready for Season 2 coming up.
Coming to you soon.
Heck yeah!
This summer.
Yeah,
So get excited.
yeah, it's coming. If you would like to support us on Patreon, you can do so at PG-DND or in the link below. We'll catch you next time, and as always, remember that we love you.
We love
Bye-bye.
you. Goodbye.
So long.